Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and today is Fun Fold Friday. Yesterday I had an absolutely dreadful evening of filming, and it just seems to be seeping into today as well. So this is the second time I've tried to video this. This is a double Z fold card. I absolutely love these. This would be my go-to if I'm going to make a card for somebody, because it's great for any occasion. It has a little bit of a wow factor. It sits beautifully on any shelf or mantelpiece to display it, and you can just mix and match your colours to your heart's content, and then you can just go for it when it comes to decorating. So I've used the Hues of Happiness suite for this particular card. I've used gorgeous grape cardstock with white cardstock, and I've also used the Hues of Happiness designer series paper from our brand new catalogue, which has only been live literally about a week and a half. So if you head over to my blog, there is a link to that in the description bar below. You can click onto a link that will take you straight to the catalogue. It is the English version. The UK version of the catalogue, all of the prices are in pound sterling. If you would like a catalogue in another language, I think I can do French and German, and I can't remember the other languages. Please just drop me a line and I can get that over to you. And I'll also get you a host code so that if you want to order with me, you can just quote the host code. Please email me any details of that. All of my details in the description bar. Anyway, let's get on with this. So Fun Fold Friday is a new series that I'm doing with Crafty Karen Designs and Vicky Lou Designs. You can see Karen on blog and on YouTube, and then Vicky has her own blog. So every Friday throughout the month of May, we are doing a Fun Fold Friday. Somebody left a comment about this on somebody else's YouTube video the other day. They tagged me in it and they said, can you show us some directions? So here we go. I've got two pieces of cards. These are pre-prepared because my earlier video went a little bit wrong. I've got a piece of card that measures 11 inches by 4 1/8. With some careful cutting, you can get this done in one sheet of A4. So take your A4 piece of card and trim it down to 11 inches. And then trim that piece down to 4 1/8. So you have a piece that measures 4 1/8 by 11 inches. And then you want another piece that measures 3 1/2 by 9 3/4. So trim that piece of card down to 9 3/4, and then trim it down to 3 1/2. You could do that out of one piece of A4. The larger piece of card, I've scored that at 2 3/4 inches and at 5 1/2, and I've done the same with this one, scored at 2 3/4 inches and at 5 1/2. The larger piece, you fold in the middle, and then you fold that one back, and then with a bone folder you burnish those score lines. Like that. I don't recommend burnishing on top of this because it just leaves an impression in your card. And even though that we will be decorating this, you'll still be able to see it. And then with a smaller piece, we fold over like that and burnish. And then we fold back that way and burnish. Okay, so that's what we are left with. We're going to have a piece that's like this. That's the smaller piece, and a piece that's like that. That's the bigger piece. Okay, so the paper that I'm using is Sun Prints, and I really wanted to try and mix this up. So I'm using this piece probably for the forefront of my card. So that would be this piece, these flowers here. I'm actually going to use this, and then for the background, I'm going to flip that over and use that. This is grey granite and white. I did think about using grey granite and the blue, but I think it would have made it very dark. I think maybe if you were doing this for maybe somebody who likes darker colours, then you would go that way. But I'm going to do this. So for the larger piece, you are going to need 2 pieces of designer series paper that measure 2.5 by 3 7/8. We don't have to worry about direction with this particular paper, but if you are using paper with a direction, be very careful. So 2 pieces that measure 2.5 by 3 7/8, and then 1 piece that measures 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. So let's get those going. As I said, I'm going to do this in real time. Didn't pre-prepare it apart from those bits of card. So let's get this that's 3 7/8, and then we might be able to get everything else from one slice. So 3 7/8. And then we are going to slice this at, it's not 5 1/2, it's 5 1/4. So 5 1/4. And 2 1/2, whoops, that just wobbled there. 2 1/2 and 2 1/2. And we got that little bit on the ends. That could be used perhaps for a card or something later on. Leave a comment and tell me what you do with your scraps. Would you save a piece that size and do something with it? Or would that, which is probably what I'm tempted to do, chuck it in the bin? I'm not very good with scraps. I need to challenge myself on scraps. So this is my larger Z fold. And I'm going to put that in the middle there like that. I love that grey granite with the white. It's beautiful. I'm going to put that one in there and that one in there. So let's get some glue going. I do sometimes just pause the video or pause the recording and then come back to it. But sometimes if you're crafting alongside, I know when I used to craft along with YouTube videos, it just gives you a chance to like catch up or get stuff written down. So as well as Fun Fold Friday, we're also doing 3D Thursday. So you may have watched my video from yesterday. And I'd like to keep those series running, to be honest, throughout June and July. I'm hoping that my workload at work will start to really slack off. I have 6 weeks off in the summer. We'll have to see. I've got a grandchild coming in the summer, so I might find myself extremely busy. Okay, so that's kind of what I call the background of our card. It's the main mechanism of it. And then our other piece of card is going to sit like that. And we're going to darken this down now by using the other side of that. So let's trim this down. We need 2 pieces that measure 2.5 by 3 1/4 and 1 piece that measures 3 1/4 by 4 inches. See if we can be as efficient with our DSP as we were before. So I'm going to trim this to 3 1/4. Oh, let's see. I'm literally doing this off the top of my head. And we want a piece, we want 2 pieces that are 2.5. Again, there's no direction with this. If there was a direction, then we would have to be more careful. So 2.5, want 2 of those. I love our paper trimmer, just how easily it just trims our paper. And then another one that measures 4 inches. So yeah, we've done all right there. We managed to get 2 pieces. So we've got some bit of scrap from that. And then I've got a nice big piece of this left, and I'll make another card with that. Now this card isn't going to be a birthday card. I'm making a couple of these, and I want to send a card to a couple of friends of mine that I had a very lovely afternoon with yesterday. So that's the plan for this card. Okay, almost get triptych effect there. So let's put those on. Whoops. So this DSP, I can't remember if I said what it was called. It's called Sun Prints, and it's part of the Nature's Prints suite, which I purchased when the catalogue, when we were allowed to pre-order. It's one of the lovely advantages of being a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, is that not only do you get a lovely discount when you join, and you get a lovely joining offer when you join. You can buy lots of products, spend only £99. Got a great joining offer at the moment. But also as a demonstrator, you get to pre-order things, so you get to play with stuff before customers can, which is really, really nice. So at the moment, our joining offer is not only do you get to choose £130 if you're in the UK, £130 of goods for £99. You also are given £62.50 worth of goods for free. So the in-colour cards, the in-colour DSP, and all of the in-colour inks. And the grid paper that you receive is also coordinated with the in-colours. Look at that for some contrast. I wasn't sure about this when I started it, but I thought I'm going with it. I absolutely love that. I just really, really like that. Now, I tend not to say these days that cards are masculine or feminine or anything like that, because we're all different, aren't we? We all like different things. But, you know, if you are making a card for somebody that likes darker colours, or if you want something a little bit more neutral colour, I think the grey and the blue, this kind of beigey grey, is a really nice combo. Let's get it finished and put it together. So what we're going to do is, on this smaller one, glue all of this back panel here, which is going to stick there. And we are going to put adhesive just on the back of this half of this. So this sits centrally. It's a little bit tricky, this procedure. And I think it's not about being careful, it's about being confident with it and just doing it rather than hesitating and getting glue everywhere. So what I'm going to do is put glue on the back of this panel here, and then I'm going to get that in place. And then once I'm happy that that's in place, I can then put some adhesive on the back of this. So let's start with this bit. I remember when I first did a double Z fold card, Crafty Karen Designs showed me how to do it. We did some side-by-side crafting on a YouTube video, gosh, ages ago, probably a couple of years ago now. Maybe even longer than that. And I said, oh, how do you do that? How do you get that to stick? How does that work? She said, just be careful, but just kind of do it. Because I was just hesitating and dithering. She said, just put it down. That's what I did. So what I'm looking to do here, let me just show you. So this has got glue on the back there, and I want to just slip that behind there so I'm not getting glue in places that it shouldn't be. And as I'm lowering that down, I'm just checking that this is central. So that goes down, and then we just need a little bit of a wiggle before that glue sets to get it in place. And it's down. And when you send a card to somebody, they don't get the ruler out and check that you're central. They just look at the card and think, wow, that's amazing. Look at those colours. So maybe that isn't equal to that. Am I bothered? Not really. I'm just happy with the effect that that gives there. So I'm going to put some glue on the back of just this half. So I'll flip this back, kind of put my finger there to give me an idea where it is. You can measure it if you want to. Just going to put some glue there like that, and then flip that over. I like to use my bone folder to just press that down. Just disperses the glue nicely. There you have your card. This card is about being accurate with your cutting and scoring. Once that's accurate, this just falls together quite nicely. So what we need to do now is get a sentiment on the front. Now I'm thinking of picking up some grey granite card. So I'm going to see if I can track down in my stash of card some grey granite. Now one thing I was just thinking just then is, how do I know it's grey granite? Well, when you open up the catalogue and you're looking at the designer series paper here, so this is what this comes from, Sun Prints Suite. This tells us the colours that are in here. So we've got Pacific Point, Night of Navy and Starry Sky along with the grey granite. So that means that I can just go to my neutrals collection and pick up the grey granite. This really helps if you want perfect coordination. And I didn't realise until just now that Pacific Point is in there. I love Stampin' Up's blues, and Night of Navy and Pacific Point and the other in colour that went out in May, Misty Moonlight, have been my favourite colours. Absolutely love Pacific Point. I don't use it anywhere near as often as I should do, which is bad. So I want to get this grey granite on here. It doesn't look anything like this colour there really, but it is. Now I'm going to trim this down to 3.5 by 1 3/4. Don't have to do a horizontal sentiment on this. You could pick up some other sentiments. Horizontal shape. You could pick up some punches if you want to. So I'm going to go with that, and I'm kind of now rapidly changing my mind as to what I want, because I'm not sure that works. I don't know. I'm going to stick with it, but I'm going to use this piece of card. So what I'm actually going to do is trim down this grey granite card to get that to fit on there. So that means I have to get this out again. Those of you that watch me a lot, you know that I change my mind quite often when I'm crafting. So I'm going to trim that down to 1 inch by, what have we got there? 3.5. So let's trim that down to 3 3/8. That's it. And then the width of this will be 1 1/8. So we have just a very small border all the way around. And then what I'm going to do is stamp my sentiments in Night of Navy. So we're going to have that. That's going to fit on there like that. And what I'm looking for is, actually I'm quite happy with that now. I'm looking for a thank you sentiment. So I'm just going to have a look through my stamp sets and find a thank you sentiment. So I started looking through all of my stamps that had thanks in them. There are loads. I'm just going to show you a selection because I've literally picked out about 10. Here are my favourites. Artistically inked. I love that. If that fits, that's probably what I'm going to do. Art Gallery has a small thank you. Flowing Flowers. This wouldn't fit on my card. Lovely thank you, that. Lovely font. I want to say thank you and not thanks. But that's a nice sentiment on there from The Biggest Wish. Lovely You. We've got more appreciation ones, you know, things like Just Because. What was the other one that I saw? Wildly Grateful. Dahlia Days, we've got a thank you on here. Flowers of Friendship, thank you. Like this shape of this one, thank you for everything. Stampin' Up know how to do thanks, definitely. Thanks on here, that's a nice one. Nearly went for that, but I don't think it's big enough. Probably my favourite, but not big enough, and I love the font on that, thank you. And then a heartfelt thank you. This is Nature's Prints, which actually goes with this suite of products. But if this fits, I'm going with that. If not, I'm going with that. So let's just put these to one side. This is my preferred. This is a cling stamp. And actually, I'm not sure I've used it before. I haven't. So I'm just going to sort out the sticky bit on that. And I know that I said that I wanted to say thank you, and then I've gone and picked out a thanks, but I think it's just because I really like this. but I don't know if it will fit. It's a little bit on the big side, but it does fit nicely on there. Another sentiment that I've got is from the Peaceful Moments stamp set. Let me just show you this, because I might just now change my mind. I like that, and that's what I'm going to have. So that's my decision made. Sometimes we just need to go through absolutely everything. Oops, can't get it off. And I can't get it off with my nails. You do get to see this real time. There we are, that's on there. And I think that's going to fit nicely. It does. Fabulous. Right, let's get some ink, and I'm going to use Night of Navy. I think grey granite would be not quite dark enough. It's a nice colour, but I don't think it would be dark enough. So Night of Navy. So if you don't like black, Night of Navy is, sorry, camera shaking, Night of Navy is a really good one to use. So let's get that as central as we can. Lovely. And then what I'm going to do is then just mount that onto there like that. So I'm going to make another one of these today, because it is, I should have probably got to make quite a few today. There's a few friends that I want to say thank you to that I've spent some time with recently, because I've just been so busy at work. I haven't had time to see, you know, like my local friends, so I've spent some time with them. So just using some dimensionals on there. Pick those off. This is the bit that takes ages, trying to get these things off. They're so annoying sometimes. Right. Just pop that on there like that and get it nice and central. And then I'll put that on there. And I think I'm just going to glue that on because we don't want it too high. If you're posting these to people and you've got lots of dimensionals on your card, you need to make sure that you're not kind of going up another postage level. Oh, I'm really pleased with this colour match, with this colourway rather. Really, really pleased with that. Just need a little bit of something else on it. So I'm going into my bling drawer. And I'm not sure if these are going to go. No, I think I'm just going to pick up. Oh, I'm not sure at all now. Just trying to find some blingy things. So I've got some rhinestone basic jewels. And I'm just going to put one there and one there because I can't decide. I'm not going to go anything super difficult. But you know, you could wrap some ribbon around this here, wrap some twine around it. Just go with whatever you want to do. I've kept it quite simple just because I don't want this video to get any longer than it already is. But there we have a double Z fold card. Now I will put a sentiment on this or a note. And I'm just going to write that on the back there. So if you wanted to stamp something else there, you could, and you should do that before you've put the whole card together. Or maybe just layer it up, maybe some grey granite card and then white card on top of that, and then write your sentiments. I haven't quite decided. I'm going to get my thank you cards made up first, and then I'll decide what I'm going to do with them. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope this has inspired you. If you want to see any more videos, please just click subscribe, hit the bell to be notified of any future videos coming. And I really look forward to seeing you soon. Bye bye.